Hello, fine folks, and welcome to Woki Plays. Sorry, today I am not playing. I am doing a. We are doing a top 10 list. Top 10 games most anticipated of 2024 Essen Spiel from Essen Spiel. We are preparing for Essen, so it's time to do the list. So, not alone, it's going to be just the two lists today. Welcome, Mr. Radu. In the closet. You look like you're in a closet or something.
I don't. The sun is trying to
to get in.
It's too strong.
That bugger. He wants to get in the house. That sun. You're right. You seem very.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm still preparing. I didn't. I couldn't find my list. Where did I put it?
Okay.
And yeah, everything's good.
What was your criteria for this list?
Well, like everyone else, I think our main source of inspiration or the research we've done from the BGG preview list of Essen released games. And so that's like I always do, and you know this about me. The shiniest and more colorful box I could find that just screams at me. I think that's my criteria, because if anyone's seen the preview done of the 1,000 games that are released, more or less, because some of them do repeat themselves, and they are
around 1,000 games,
from
let's
publisher
say.
to publisher.
Yeah, let's say around 1,000 games coming out.
Yeah, still a lot to go through.
It is, isn't it?
About what, 30 pages? Oh, I mean, it was.
I know, I did it live for 2 hours.
I know. I've seen it afterwards and said, okay, you probably already talked about some of the games that are going to be on our lists. But, these are our top 10 picks of that 1,000. So it's what, at 1%? Anyway. The criteria, that was the question. Well, I didn't. There are filters, right? So I removed demos and expansions. I wanted standalone games, and that could be found in the fair itself. So that was my criteria going in.
I am here with you. No expansions and no demos. I mean, there are a gazillion games that are super interesting. They look super interesting, but they are demos. They will come out in 2025 or maybe 2026 even. So we've made that mistake in the past, and I'm not willing to do it again. So I'd say I only chose games that are coming out this season, that say will come out this season. So I'm quite interested to see what is your list and what shiny box you have chosen. What bunch of shiny boxes you have chosen.
I hope I will surprise you. I have a general idea what your list might be, because we know each other just too well at this point not to anticipate some of these games.
Yeah. I think I have a few for you, and I think I know some of the games you would want. So without further ado, I would say let's open the TVs. Ooh, let's move to top 10 and let's start the top.
So I'll give you the last word.
Oh, you want to be first?
All right with you?
Okay, I'm okay with it. It's okay. I'm okay.
I'm not confident enough about my number one to finish the stream.
Okay.
I don't
like
want
my number
King
one.
of Tokyo to rule. the end, you know.
I don't think
Anyway,
there's. If there is one
it,
more King of Tokyo coming out, I'm gonna find it and burn it all.
it is. It's King of Tokyo uh beginnings, or where every monster is a baby or something like that. It's
Are you
anyway.
serious? Because I have not seen it. Anyways,
Yes,
doesn't
I'm
matter.
really serious. Just look at it afterwards. All right.
Hit me.
Okay, let's
What is your number
see.
10?
My number 10, if I can find it. So, well, I'm going from light
Too heavy.
family towards heavier,
Okay.
because that's what most of the experienced players will expect from this channel. Thinking about them a bit.
Okay.
So let's my number 10. It's a family game that probably is not nowhere near your radar, and it's called Babylon.
I have looked at it. I have looked at it.
It's a this is has a very good table presence. You will stop people in their tracks with this game because you're
It's a Geek
building something.
Attitude Games.
Yes, it is. It has a three-dimensional look to
Yep.
it. You're not just pushing cubes. They're uh, not having discs, and it has an appeal to it, and you could play this with probably anyone. It looks simple enough. But it is a looker. You have to give it
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. That's why I looked at it because it is a looker
So, as far as I know, you have your own board and you're competing with other
to build a
at the
city. You
table to
know.
build the most prestigious, most beautiful, well, victory points, right? But
To
it's,
make the
you have bridges and pillars, statues, fountains. I think it has enough to pique the interest of everyone who's interested in board games, and could be a nice gateway for the newer generations, or the ones that they do attend, right? So
Yeah.
it's
No, it looks interesting. It's funky. It looks funky. Okay. Okay. Let's go to my number 10.
yeah.
My number 10 is a it en- I wanted to put it on my list. I'll go it I would say it was not hard for me to do this list because a lot of the games that I was really expecting or I would want to try are in the future.
Mm.
So there are, let's say, the short list was not very very long, but yeah, this game piqued my interest. This is a series of games, and it's called History of Ancient Seas. The first one is Hellas because it's a 1 to 2 players game. It's a
Hmm.
longer game. It's 2 hours to 3 hours, something like that. And it's a civ game with a bit of probably with a bit of war. And I do like these games. If they're my only problem with it is a bit long. But if the civ game is a bit more than the war game, I'm really interested. I like playing a longer, deeper, meaningful civilization game, which allows me to move to create something, to go from small, make myself big, conquer, go into new territories, build new stuff, get new resources, make myself bigger, and I looked at, like I said, this is the first. It's a trilogy of games. One is for 1 to 2 players, which is basically for 2 players because if you're the one player playing against a bot.
Hmm.
The next one is Dies Irae, which is a 3 player game, and Mare Nostrum, which is a 3 to 6 player game, something like that.
Right.
I think the maximum I would want to play it is 3. even Mare Nostrum, even Dies Irae. This is the first one. The second two-player one piqued my interest. I would like to try to get a copy and try to play it on stream, mainly because I love history. I do enjoy these kinds of games. If they're not only a war game, it's more civilization than it is war game. It looks good. It has nice pieces. It seems like an interesting design. So I'm quite curious to see how it will look, how it will play, and if I can get a copy for the channel to try to play it.
Wow. This looks like a niche within a niche.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why it makes for an interesting choice for me.
Yeah. I think deserves these types of games need a bit of to be brought into the light a bit. They're kind of left in the obscurity of board gaming, where everyone knows what a war game is, but nobody is playing them.
Yeah, war games per se, I'm not really interested in playing a big war game, although it is interesting. They are interesting, and with all the tech trees and everything that you do, I do prefer a civilization game, a civilization-based game with a bit of war. Okay, because I can do different things to protect myself, not just make a game where I just build stuff to then go and destroy all your stuff. This is what we all did. This is what we did through humanity for millions of years,
and we still do.
We do it less these days, and I prefer it this way if we can. So, Mr. Radu, what is your
Number 9.
1 second, because I need to go to number 9. You have.
Turn the page.
I turn the page. What do you say?
Another light, not even going outside that spectrum. It's light. I suppose it's light because it's a set collection game with that's affecting everyone at the table, and it's called Media Aetas, or Middle Ages, if you want.
Media Aetas.
Yeah. What piqued my interest is the artwork and the puzzly aspect of it. They have the type of
this is the reimplementation of
really?
Yeah, it's a reimplementation. It's Majesty for the Realm. It's a Mark Andre title, which is I think it came out 2016 or something like that, which was quite a good game. Quite a good game. Okay, sorry for that. Sorry for this one interruption.
I don't recall that, but sorry if it's
not an issue.
An older title.
It's not an issue.
Remodel.
Nope, not a problem. That is not a problem for me.
So, of course, I'm a big fan of medieval themed games, and I always am focused on finding games related to that. And this one had a very striking cover of like stained glass windows, which is really my jam. And the way the tiles are being constructed, and they fit like jigsaw puzzle with a custom shape of every space that you can build it. I don't know if you have any pictures of, because that's kind of what makes this game look apart. And
Hey.
and it what?
Sorry. Paul from Gaming.
No!
Hello, sir. Welcome by. Thank you for coming to our small channel. That's cool if you're playing.
Fantastic.
Okay. So Radu, sorry for interrupting you.
No problem. He can interrupt us whenever he wants. Okay, so yeah, this is an easy family game to bring to the table. It reminds me a bit of, well, that it doesn't, right? But no, I try to feel of Carcassonne in NFL, but it's just those square tiles that
Uh,
you put down. It's and it builds. It's like a tableau building in a sense, uh, with with, what do you have it? Well,
it's a tableau
I should
builder,
look
yeah.
this up.
Yeah, it's a tableau builder. You will build your. You have a player board, and you build your tableau from your player board. It's quite abstract. I haven't played it in too many years. I think it's a 2016 title or something like that.
Yeah.
But when I played it, I said I quite liked it. I quite enjoyed it. It had a bit of a different theme, um, but I think it's quite. This was the first one, which is 2017. Yeah, 2017
Mm.
title. It is a good game, and I hope it gets more. I think I like it more than I liked it more back then than the other. The other, I think it's still his. I'm not sure if it's his. Barony was one of his other titles,
Mm.
and I don't know which other.
I
Uh,
don't know.
and I think also the one with poker chips was also a game that he did, which or has a two player variant these days. Well, come on, it's easy to look. Marc Andre, which I'm not a big fan of. Splendor, also his game,
All right.
and I think this one came after Majesty for them came out after Splendor. Splendor was a huge hit. This one didn't get as much traction as that one, but I think I liked it more than I like Splendor. Splendor is just the driest, and Barony is also a very good abstracted game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, aesthetically, this is
it's pleasing for you.
appeals to me. Yeah.
Oh, go away. Okay, let's go to my. How are you, Paul? In this fine morning, you have only slept 4 hours. Thank you for waking up to watch our small top 10. Okay, my number 9. My number 9 is a game that entered um, my top 10 releases of 2024 that I was excited about. It's a game called it's a game. I will try to get the copy, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get it to play it on the channel. It's a game designed by a designer which is slowly making more and more games, which are good games in my opinion. Some of them I'm not a fan of, as Barcelona, but the other one I quite enjoyed it. Windmill Valley. I hope this is the one that I say it's awesome. The game is Daitoshi. It will be released by De Veer.
Mhm.
This Essen Spiel. As every De Veer title, it looks quite good. I do hope there is one thing about these De Veer. None or most of them did not really. I mean, Bitoku had a bit of traction, and then it was a bit lost. Let's say nobody talks about it anymore.
Oh, Lacrimosa
Lacrimosa
was a
was
big hit.
it was a big
Well,
hit,
in my opinion.
and unfortunately, also no one talked about it afterwards. Paul says the rule books are not great. Well, I
White
think
Castle last year, I think, was their biggest.
White Castle. I think it's their biggest hit yet.
Hmm.
Is their biggest hit yet. This I do agree with you. I only have played Jerusalem from them, and the rule book was okay. Let's say. Yeah. Paul knows something about rule books. So
Yeah.
this is a Meteor game. which I've seen. I think some things get out. And okay, we live in unprecedented era of progress, a new Steam, and it is a worker placement game apparently. Um, and you either produce or move your magnate to a new district in which you'll be able to send your workers to work, command the exploit of forest or river hexes to fuel your endless need for steam, and perform an action to expand and show your greatness to the city. What I hope, this one is, I'm hoping for a good theme here. I hope the theme will come out more than it came out in Barcelona, for example, and because the theme in Windmill Valley was a bit more present than it was and yeah, this one looks like a very good production. Okay, let's see what's your.
I will be checking them out and for the rock hard copy. This seems to be very interesting thematically. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not on my list though. I won't spoil more.
I know
it's
it's
not
not.
on my list.
We've talked about this game in the past, so yeah, let's focus on the Cult of the New. Right.
Okay. What else is what's your number 9?
Well,
sorry, your number 8. Sorry.
8. Yeah, 8. This is on number 8 because I probably will not get to play this game. And if I do get a chance to have it, probably I'll keep the box and store the rest. I mean, this is a heavier. No, the theme is darker, and it's inspired by
starts
Dante's
with an
Inferno.
Starts with an I.
Yeah, it's Inferno. I mean, usually when I get a game, I stare at the box that really engages with me, and I want to figure out why I like it so much. And this, it breaks a bit the mold and brings you into it takes you away from everything colorful, cheerful, having smiling animals everywhere, pretending we are saving the planet all the time. And we're getting to the core of it, thinking about what you do in life, and were you a good person? Are you going to hell? Are you going to heaven? Yes, these themes do not get a lot of recognition.
Yeah, but here you're gonna play Euro game. Yeah, this is the theme I think is molded after Dante's Inferno.
Yeah,
which is quite interesting to see if it's going to stand up the.
From what I heard, it's abstracted in a way that makes sense thematically, but you might have to bring your theme with you.
I see.
Because you're doing things so that you can gain victory points. I mean, we're still a Euro game, but with an interesting
twist to it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna have an interesting conversation after you've finished, and you have to rethink your life a bit because
Well, if a game
short.
manages to do that, I'm up to the task.
I hope it does, right?
Yeah.
You have these 9 circles of hell, and you deal with souls, and I find it interesting. I would like to play this game. It's on number 8 because I probably will not get the chance, but I think they deserve.
I'm gonna try to.
They deserve to be on the list. Red Mojo, they have, or Mojo.
Red Mojo.
I think that they're a Spanish.
They're Spanish,
company.
yeah. They're Spanish. Their latest title, it's called, not latest. The title before this, Tindaya, I think, really spring. What it is, the past tense.
Paul could help us.
Well,
with the translation.
it did. I was really interested in that. Really interested in that.
Yeah.
So it looked good. It looked like a good Euro game. So hopefully this is good too.
Yeah. Well, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, it was on my short list, but it did not end up in my list.
Yeah, I
Uh,
kind of figured it might not be on your list, but you
oh.
know, you're Euro-centric heavy.
Okay, okay, Paul. Yeah, it was their previous game. I know, but yeah, it doesn't matter. uh, keep on editing, keep on editing. So let's go to my number eight. My number eight is a game that I find really uh, interesting as a theme. Um, which I don't think is really exploited in board games. The theme of paleontology. This is a how is it called? Swan song. It's a bye bye love letter from Game Brewer, which I think closed its doors.
Ooh, what, Bone Wars?
Bone Wars, yes.
Yeah.
The well, it looks like a game that I would enjoy more than the other one, which I think it's Algae. I think. Yeah, it's a heavy Euro game about um, going to Bone Wars. It's a game about paleontology mainly. You take a role of paleontologist and they think hundreds during this time a bitter rivalry was waged between someone else and someone else. Two world-renowned They both try to outdo in discovering new species of dinosaurs, going so far to bribe workers, steal, or even destroy bones. The player are working for one of these legendary men, perhaps working on their own behalf, trying to outdo all competition. And it has something that I'm really interested. It has some of two or three mechanisms which I'm a big fan in board games. One is hand management, one is multi-use cards, and one is worker placement. And it has also different worker types. I'm quite interested to see what this game will look like. Most likely, this one will. I'm not in good graces with Game Brewer. I don't know if they watched my our Stroganov review.
I loved it. I still love that game. So
Yeah,
they have my vote.
I'm with you. I love the game. Awful production, or awful production, awful thought out production. But I've talked enough about this one. So that was Bone Wars. My number 8. Your number 8, sir.
Right. Okay. One moment. I should have done this beforehand, but fine. It's I think another Spanish company that has done a whole series of these 1900 boxes. Small game. Apparently, it could have a big content. It's a bigger game than the box implies. At least what I think. And it's called 1980 Sixtina.
1980 Sixtina.
Yes. And it's from Looping Games, illustrated by Pedro Soto.
Okay.
He has done a whole bunch of games.
Yeah, it's a card game
in this series.
It's a card
game. The idea of this particular iteration, it appeals to me because we are dealing with the restoration of the Sixtine Chapel, and that's enough to get me hooked, right? it just scratches that artistic itch. I'm involved in the cleaning up of the ceiling. I mean, it's still abstracted, but I do want to get involved. I want to be, get my hands dirty, let's call it. And you're competing with other restorers to see who has majority I know, and
But you're
it's a really
painting.
neat.
But you're
It's a really
painting.
neat.
It's very artsy. You're
Right, right. I know. It really appeals to a yeah. That's this is like the games I do like that have artistic and medieval, and that's kind of what I orbit around. And you have these face-up cards, and they are being covered up, and um, as you finish the restoration, you start another one. It feels like you're developing and you're revealing like a advent calendar. I mean, it's a
I see.
bit like that, right?
I see. I see.
But it's still abstracted. It looks well.
It
Of
looks
course,
good.
it looks good. Uses images of these Renaissance masterpieces, so it there's no criticizing the artwork.
Okay.
Okay, so hopefully the
The
gameplay
game is
is
good.
good. The
Okay.
theme has got me hooked, and I do want to check this one out.
Cool. Let's go to my number 7. My number 7 is you got a peek uh, a few moments ago. The game is called Minos, Dawn of the Bronze Age, which is a game from Board and Dice.
Hmm.
Well, this is a bit of a civilization game, which has dice, which has a bit of that. Um, what is the Portuguese game that we both love? We enjoy a lot, and it has Chris Williams artwork.
Oh, Coimbra.
Coimbra, exactly. I know I think I've seen shortly your video on Minos. It looks good on the table. I think it really looks good on the table. And the main reason why I look at this is because it's Stan Kordonski, and you can watch a an interview on the channel, which I did
Hmm.
with Stan, and it was quite interesting because both have we have some of the same Eastern roots. So, but he went to the US. Anyways, let's go back to the game. It's a Civ game which has a bit of dice drafting. It has a bit of worker placement in a way, um, or dice placement more or less. Um, it's an
With tracks.
it has tracks. It's a board and
Of
dice
course, it's a board
game.
and dice game.
It looks good. It looks like a good production, and I've heard good things about it. I have not been able to play it, but I'm going to try to also get a copy and cover it for the channel.
I was
Uh,
absolutely 100% sure that it's going to be on your list, so spoiler, it's not going to be on mine.
I think I don't know what I think on their Discord server. Paul said that it's the best game from Board and Dice that he played this year. Um,
Ooh, you can
so
actually confirm if that's the
s-
case or not.
yeah, I'm curious to play it. I'm curious to. It seems like it plays well as a two-player game, which I'm always a fan of. We play most of our games two-player, so
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see.
We
Your
will see. The comparison with with Canimbra is quite present.
it's not a direct comparison. It has that of taking a die and place it and then place it on the board.
Yeah.
Um, it is number 6. Mr. Radu, go to your number 6.
Okay. And this is another charming and very. This is another beautiful cover. I think this is an art style that will gain popularity in the future, and it's called Harmonies. It's a very light game.
But
I
this
know.
one came out this year already, I think.
Is it? I
Yeah,
don't know.
we have it here in Romania.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's also localized. I've heard so many good things about this game. I've not played it.
Wow.
It
They
looks,
moved fast.
it,
Well, it's Lieberlut, so
yep,
they
yep,
make
yep.
it as cute as possible. Yeah. So I I thought it was I guess a release, but yeah,
No,
I'm sorry,
no, it was
mistaken.
released. It was released sooner in the year.
Okay, but I haven't heard about it. So as as I looked through the images, and other people have started to talk about it, and they praises that how good it looks, but the gameplay might be too well. It's kind of appropriate, right? You're building this habitat for these abstracted tiles, wooden pieces, or trying to think that where will these animals live, and you're scoring on adjacencies and the type of terrain that, and each type of terrain scores differently. Yeah, kind of that's the game. But what got me engaged is the artwork here. I think it's different, it
I,
and
you know what? I do wonder how many of these games can you make of. This is not placing tiles, as Cascadia is, for example. Placing tiles that will give you points for. Okay, in Cascadia, you score points by terrains, so how big your terrain is, but it's also adjacency. You
yeah.
place animals. You play. I mean, how many games can you make with this and still be successful? I've heard good things about it. It looks like a pretty abstract game. Um, Probably is good for what it is, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you do prioritize mechanisms before beauty,
Yeah, yeah, it's
so
that's true.
I mean,
It
I
looks
think
beautiful indeed. It looks good, but
I think the illustrator Meiva da Silva did a wonderful job, and should be praised for this achievement. I mean, I really want to see more.
okay, let's go to my number six. My number six is a game that it's a not re-implementation. I've heard that they did changes to the mechanisms. It's not exactly the same game. This was the main issue with the first edition for a lot of people. I love the first edition. Love is a strong word. I really like the first edition. We have played the first edition on stream. I've played. It's a game that I've played a lot, and I hope. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to procure a copy this season, but I'm going to try as hard as I can to get a game which is called Kraftwagen, Age of Engineering.
Wow, you played this on your top 10.
Yeah, I really like this game. I think you remember how much. I mean, Glenmore is in my top 100 of all time.
Oh
I
yeah,
really enjoy
mine
that
as well.
mechanism. This is the same mechanism as it is in Glenmore. Uh, with a twist, with a bit of a twist, because you take the tile and you move it forwards. You don't take it for yourself. You just move it forwards, and that tile which you take will give you an action. This is a, a medium weight game which plays fast, and it has great interaction. What do I do? Do I go for high price point selling cars, or do I go for more? Do I send more? Do I do more service to the cars? Do I try to get my engines up? Do I try to get my do I do better bodies? So it is quite a, how should I put it? Meaty, not meaty, but it gives you enough for the time that you play it. they've changed the artwork. It's not as blue and simple as the first version is. I hope it has the V6 expansion in it already, and hopefully some new content. I cannot tell you I'm really sold on the new artwork. It's prettier in a way, but the first one does its job. But I do hope they have changed enough on the game itself that makes it a better game. I
Yeah,
don't.
this was my biggest criticism when we played a few years back, and I couldn't get over the fact that it looks very prototypey to me. It had no artwork or minimal at best, and that I would have wanted. But this is, I think it's an older title, so it was accepted
Yeah,
in
back then.
in that time. But now I think they've brought it in and give it a facelift.
Oh, and this
right?
is your friend Javier Ingolem, right? He did.
Is it?
Yeah, he did the artwork. Yep.
Oh man.
Yep, he did the
The
artwork.
respect goes even further. I think, yeah, good for him. I mean, he has been growing these past few years.
Yep. So yeah, can't wait to try to snatch a copy, and hopefully I'll be able to get one.
Great job, Javier.
So let's go to number 5, right? You're number 5.
All right. It's couldn't care less about the title. I think it's just smashed words around and said, "What is this game about? Doesn't matter." I wish they wouldn't put the name on the title, so on the box, so I could see the artwork. I mean, really, it's called Altai.
Altai. Oh, okay.
Dawn of whatever. How many games? And this is where you call Dawn of Civilization. Like I would never heard this one before from the Stone Age forward. Anyway, but the artwork, my God! I mean, this
is a card game. It's a card game. Well,
yeah,
more or
it's
less.
it has deck building and area control.
And area control,
I guess.
yeah.
And I go through visuals and go to the
It looks
mechanism.
good. Yeah, this was on my short list. Was on my short list for sure.
Yeah, this kind of was added later because I've looked around and it says that it's a demo, but people involved in the project said that it's mislabeled and they will be having it on in Essen.
As far as I've seen, and I'm watching what Ares usually does. They said you can come and try it and probably also buy it. I think.
Anyway, I've I don't know. It doesn't matter. I've read that they will have it. So
yeah, and this is big. I think I talked about it in the Essen preview because it's Ole Steines and Paolo Mori. So usually when I see Paolo Mori, I wanna try that game. So
no, well, everyone praises the
artwork,
the designer, but let's give a shout out to the newcomer, Paulina Hanuniemi.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I think she did a wonderful job. This is a great. I think it should pique the interest of everyone that likes, enjoys having artwork on their cards, not just prototype. So. Yeah.
I'm looking at you, heavy gamers.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, Altair has great artwork. The mechanisms are tried and true. They work. The gameplay,
should be good.
I haven't seen a lot of videos about it. I'll be sure to look into it.
It's an
it is a card game, so it's
Yeah,
harder
it's
to put on stream.
an RS game, and they don't really do bad games. I have not seen really bad games from them.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
this year, like no other, they last year they had War of the Ring card game. With War of the Ring card, this year they have more titles than they usually had. This year, in the last 2 years, so quite cool.
Yeah.
This one I talked about it in the Essen. It was on my short list also.
Good. Your short list is getting shorter.
Yeah. My number 5 is a re-implementation in a way. You know how much I like Power Grid. So Power Grid Outpost. The
Ooh. You're really holding tight to your roots. You're not
yeah.
joining the hype train.
No,
Let's go
I'm not.
back.
No,
Kraftwagen,
no.
Power Grid.
Yeah, I love Power Grid, man. Power Grid is a game which I would play more if you would have had a 2-player good variant. If you have a good bot, and I think you can make in these days you can make a good bot for Power Grid for a third player. Not those dumb robots that do crazy stuff. They just do the stupidest stuff in the world. It's just useless. You cannot play with those. I would play it even more. This looks a bit different. It has a bit of Power Grid, but it looks I don't know if it's underwater. I think it's underwater or something.
No, it's in space.
Or in space, of course. It's in space.
It's funny, the cover. Could you go back to it? I mean, it's the dude is very serious with a ball pen and a
yeah. But I think it's humorous because if I remember, the cover for Power Grid also has a dude who has a pen and paper, and let me see one thing. I hope I'm not talking nonsense.
I'll buy because it's a humorous cover and don't look too deep into it.
Look. So in Power Grid, you also have a dude with a how is this called, the notepad or something. Yeah. So you also have, of course, in the re-implementation, you also have it, but he's in space.
yeah. Don't forget things float there.
But I think it's a joke. I think the cover is made as a joke, and it's a good one. I like it. And if you remember, Friedman Freeze does these things. I don't know if you have played Copycat.
No.
It's a game made by Friedman Freeze. I think it's Fred de Fremden, something like that. It's in German. It is a satire on the political system, and it's a deck builder. It's a take on deck building and I think worker placement and a bit of Puerto Rico style because you leave money on the table. It's a copy. He copies a lot of mechanisms and makes a new game, and he called it Copycat. So he does some of these, and the front cover is of himself. It's himself on the front cover. So he does things like these, and this is why I like Friedman Freeze, because
he's so narcissistic that he can. He does the design, the artwork. He places himself on the cover.
He doesn't do the artwork. The artwork is done by Harald Lieske. Lieske, I think I don't know. I have to ask him how his name is pronounced.
Maybe an interview would help.
Yeah, it would help if we managed to get to, because I've been trying to, for I think the last 2 years I've been trying to make an interview with him, and he just doesn't find the time, or he's just too shy, or something happens all the time. But I hope I'm gonna get him, because I really want to. Yeah, so this is a re-implementation of Power Grid, which looks a bit different. The resource market, as you see, it's humans. This is the
Okay.
resource market, and also you'll have a player board where you place your power grids, and that will unlock some things for you, and yeah, which probably makes the game a tiny bit different. Um, I will have to see if it works better. Power Grid usually is best at 4, but I'm okay playing it at 3, but it's best at 4. Let's see if this one is better with less players. The bidding always having a third player works, but the rest of the game, let's see how it is.
Yeah.
That was Funkenschlag Outpost.
Okay.
Let's go to number 4.
Number 4. You would be surprised to have this title on my. And this is the third time a Spanish company has made it to my list, and I did not do this on purpose. It's a title from Ludo Nova and designer Herman P. Millán.
Nefer.
Mennefer, yes. I mean, it looks involved. There's a lot of pieces, tiny pieces.
Yeah.
Wrapping your head around it could be fiddly. I hope it has double layer boards so that things don't move around. Because
I hope
once
so too.
happened, things. I don't know much about this game, but a game with a theme of based in Egypt, where you're building pyramids and other temples, and you're mummifying people, and having all these monuments. Might be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I've looked at the artwork. It looks so busy. It looks.
Didn't go for the artwork this time, so I just wanted to spice things up.
it just Bitoku got a bit of traction, and it's lost and forgotten. The other one, Sabika. I think it's still a German P. Milan title.
Yeah,
Again, got a bit of
Sabika.
good game, forgotten. I don't know how this one will go. Again, I tried to get at that point Sabika, but no budge. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna try to talk to them for this one. I don't know. It might be good, but
Yeah.
Judging by the what happened with these last games, I don't know.
I played Sabika and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will be building upon that.
Because it
And-
looks like it has. I think I saw some a bit of a rondel somewhere. Oh no
yeah,
no no
Wouldn't be surprised.
no it's not
Sabika
here.
had
Not here.
3 of them. I
In
think.
Daitoshi, I think there was a rondel. Yeah, Sabika has three rondels. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
pretty good, but I don't know if it's that good. So we will remember it in a few years, and we want to play it in a few more years. That's what I'm more interested these days. So
Yeah. But it's new. I think it has a bit of traction, but we'll see if it's a good game and if it lasts.
yeah, we'll see. But I do wonder why. I think this is a 4 on BGG scale.
It's 340.
340.
3.4.
Okay, it's good for you. Yeah, it's good. I don't know why I thought it was-
Anything beyond this, it's gonna have my head will
will
explode.
spin. Oh, okay. My number 4. It's a lighter game, believe it or not. It's way lighter than what I usually play.
You're
But
surprising me.
but it has one thing which I enjoy, which is a bit of route building. It has a bit of pick up and deliver. It is a game designed by sometimes a collaborator, let's say, with this channel. But I'm not doing that because he's just a nice guy. But I think he does some good things, and the game is called Station to Station. I
Oh,
don't know it's done by Stephen Aramini and Johnny Pack.
hmm.
Uh,
They got you at train games.
I got me a trade games. Start with
If there's
Cash
a
and
train on the
Coal.
cover,
Yeah, yeah,
send it
yeah,
to Bowie. He will review it,
yeah.
no matter what.
Start with Cash and Coal, then deliver goods to grow your train and build your crew. So this seems like I don't know if you have played Aramini Circus. Aramini Circus is a game by Stephen Aramini, which is very tiny. It's a small card game, which is very fast, and where you build your a bit of a crew. It's animal crew. You have animals, and you have to take those animals, and it's a pretty simple game. I haven't played it in 7 or 8 years, but I have always enjoyed playing it. This is from Alicat. I have no connection with Alicat, but I think the artwork is cute. It looks good. It's a train game. Yeah, I pick up, I deliver, I move my train. Apparently, I do some resource management there. Train game. I'm in. It seems like a lighter title. I'm
It
interested
gives
to
me
have.
Ticket to Ride vibes.
Yeah, I no, it's not Ticket to Ride because you don't just connect things one
Okay.
to the other. What I want is a lighter. Although people say that you could try Railways of the World with newer gamers, I'm not really. I don't want to try Railways of the World with newer gamers because I'm gonna trump them. It's as easy as that. I think Steam Power, the new game from Martin Wallace, which will be at Essen this year, I think that might do the trick, and I'm quite interested in this one because this one also might do a bit of a trick. Uh,
So much noise from me. Sorry.
no, I can't hear it. So it looks good. It's a train game. So I'm quite interested to see how good it is. I don't see its weight. It says ages. It says 60 to 90 minutes, ages 10 plus. If it should be a midweight game. So I'm gonna try to get it. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to, but I'm gonna try. And it is the artists are. I've seen a lot of this artist lately, Laura Bevon, and yeah, Javier Gonzalez Cava. Also, I've seen a lot of him.
Well, she did the Mennefer and Sabika and a few others,
Okay,
of course.
okay.
So yeah, I mean, what? Who? They're both in this title? Wow.
Yes, both of them. I don't know who did what.
Well, spoiler. My next one will have Javier's artwork.
Oh, I
What?
see. What is the game then?
I need to talk to this guy. I mean, give me some pointers. How do you so much work?
Okay.
If you're overwhelmed, just send some my way.
Okay.
Anyway, are we to three?
Yes, let's get now,
top
let's get to the
three.
the three good ones. Until now, we.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt. Okay.
Your doubt is good.
my, my number three. I think this has been talked, and it's on the radar of quite a few other
People.
let's say people or people that have done these type of top tens, and it's called Ada's Dream. It's kind of heavier than I would
Yeah.
go for.
Yeah. It's almost a fourth title.
It's a 4.
Yeah. Wait
I
a
mean,
second.
don't ask me why I've picked this. I mean, the cover is cool, and the it seems that the thematically it's being pushed, and but it's coming through that you're building this computing device, but you're basically creating a network of multipliers, so you can get victory points. And not sure what's about with the equation that you have to do a little bit of math. So you could play this with kids. Have you done your homework? Let's try. I mean, this sounded to me like that.
On a
it's fun for the parents,
4 on
cruel
BGG.
for the kids.
Welcome, Wiblik. Morning from I'm from in Romania. Radu is in a good old Barcelona or near Barcelona, Spain.
I'm closer to him than you
Yeah,
are.
I am very close. Welcome, and we gotta thank YouTube for recommending our smaller channel. Thank you for coming, and we welcome you. So let's move forward. Sorry for the small interruption, Radu.
Yeah, this is another dice pushing game where you pick a die and you move it around
It's
in
not a cube.
circles.
Not a cube pusher, a dice pusher.
Yeah.
We're done with cube pushers. We want dice pushers.
Yeah, whether color and number matter, but we'll have to see why. There are 4 sections on the board that you can do shenanigans. You have to do meetings and all that kind of stuff to go through to on tour in England.
This feels
teach at universities, all that good stuff. So
it feels
we'll
like a very abstracted. I looked at it. It felt like a lot of game packed into a box.
Yeah.
I don't know. Usually, most of these end up failing. They fail somewhere. They fail a theme. They fail mechanisms. There are very few games which manage to put out a big game with a lot of things that the game tries to say, and also work mechanically, thematically well. There are very few designers which manage to do this.
Right.
So let's see.
But we'll have to
Let's see. It was on my short list. It looked a bit too busy, a bit too. I'll have to try it. Maybe it's very good. Until I try it, I cannot. It piques my interest. It's a it's a heavy game. It's my bread and butter. But until I play it, I'm not sure. Maybe it's my some of my disappointment of playing very heavy games that do not deliver in the end, and learning, going through all those rules, putting all that that time in, and do not get the pleasure out of it at the end. So maybe this one's good.
Let's hope this will be a pleasant surprise, and
hopefully, yeah.
But out of all the games on my list, this one scares me the most. But I had to have a really crunchy one.
I'm gonna try to get a copy.
One.
I'm gonna try to. I'm not sure. I'm not sure with what I'm going to come back from Essen, but yeah.
It's another Alley Cat game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's Alley Cat. Yeah, Alley Cat after Alley Cat, and you got the heavier one.
Okay. Pretty good year for them.
Yeah, I think there are, and I've seen a lot of demos again, for heavier games.
Future's bright.
Now the next one is heavy. It is a re-implementation of a game that already exists. The game I think also has an expansion. It was, I think, developed by Simone Luciani, and it's called Beyond the Horizon. I really want to take a copy of this game. I think it has a bunch of designers, four designers. It has the art of Agnieszka. I don't know who she is, Agnieszka, but I don't know what She did the Castles of Mad King Ludwig, La Granja Deluxe Master Set. Oh, she did Frostpunk. Oh, she has some titles. And Clemens Franz. I like Clemens Franz. Unlike a lot of people in this world, I like Clemens Franz.
How do you put Clemens Franz amongst other people? Because he stands out like a sore thumb.
I think he developed a certain style, but I don't think he is tied to that style. Also, I think he's a very good graphic designer. And for a heavy game like this one, you need a good graphic designer. So this one, as you can see, you're starting to build there. A bit of hexes. It is the re-implementation, but it's not only that. It's developed in a different way. How should I put it? It's a civ game again. One of my favorite types of themes in a game, a civilization game.
Yeah. Top 10 Civ games.
Sorry,
From Essen.
I can't put 10 Civ games, only 10 Civ games. Quite interested in this one. I want to play it, see how well it goes. I'm quite excited. This one, I'm not excited about, but this one excites me. This one I really want to. I think this one will be, if I manage to get a copy, I will put it on the table to be some of the first ones after I come.
After all that, I still don't know what the theme of this game is.
It's a civ game. Civ game.
Oh,
build a civilization.
Okay. Oh, that's it. No, okay. Looking at the cover and all that, that's it. Okay.
It
Are
is
you flying or anyway, fine.
It says, is a civilization game to compete to become the most influential society through exploration and expansion, development and production, research and technological advancement. It has the tech trees from Beyond the Sun, but with a bit more oomph added to it. It's here it says it's a 3.86, which for me sounds like music, good music, whatever good music you want. Is it classical or rock? No pop, thank you. What do you want, sir? To go to number 2?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Okay, this was
sorry.
a quite a bold move.
Okay.
And I enjoy that board games take this approach of having this aesthetic and not being afraid of falling off a cliff. I mean, this is Crown of Ash. I have never seen this much black on a box before, but it's really
Lost
striking.
Empires,
It's
Crown of Ash.
Crown of Ash. That's it. 2024, I think. It's going to be released at Essen.
Okay, I found it.
It's nowhere near on your list. I don't know if you have seen it or.
No, I think I passed over. It's a 238. It might be good. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean the weight is right, right in the middle. It's great for someone like me that doesn't want to go over, and
the pieces don't look.
It looks good. I really like the striking imagery and the very stylized look. I mean, it's really.
It is, yeah.
Brutal in a sense, right? It's it has a good graphic design, and it
looks very basic is the wrong word.
It's minimal.
Minimal, yeah.
Yeah, but they've done it in a way that I have not seen reproduced, I guess. So the novelty of the aesthetics it's enough for me to give it a go. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's from Koraz Games. I don't know if it has any any good titles in their portfolio, but this one
I think they
is
do some things, but yeah. So this will come out this year.
yeah,
Korax Games, I've heard of them, but publisher says Carte Noire here.
really. I thought
Uh,
it's correct.
Carte Noire, yeah, Korax Games also. They have some good titles, um, but I don't remember what is some of their own. Anyways, okay.
Anyway, it's just a card game. You battle each other for supremacy of these territories, basically. So we'll see
So
how the
that
gameplay is. You have me at the looks and the aesthetics of it. We'll see if it's a title to own or to add to my collection.
okay. You must have really
You're not
liked
so.
it. No, you must have really liked it.
Yeah,
The
I'm
to
looking for
choose to go
you
number
know.
two. Number two, you have disappointed me.
I know,
I
I
feel
know, but
disappointed, like a
I
disappointed parent.
probably these could have been moved and shifted around some more, but
You should
I
have.
wanted to make a splash with this one. Probably
Okay,
could have. It
it's your
would have
list.
been
It's your
better if
list.
Inferno wasn't too, but they have a similar
Yeah,
vibe
yeah, yeah,
into.
yeah.
But yeah,
Okay, my number two, right? My number
yeah.
two is an Inside Up game.
Ooh,
The first game I really did not. It was a huge it was a huge success for them, which is a game that has a bit in common with Terraforming Mars, with these card games that everybody Art Nova. It's board card games that everybody love, but I was yeah, it's okay, it's good, but that's about it. But this one really piqued my interest.
mhm.
So, hey Paul. um, so my number two is Terminus. I don't know if it has um, it's rated already. I don't know. I think it's released in the US. This is an economic game, more which has a bit of city building. It's an economic game with a bit of city building. It has industry, manufacturing, trades, and transportation. Ding 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 ding.
I mean,
Choo choo.
it is trams, not trains, or what?
So
Man,
quite interested in.
you just can't help yourself,
Nope, I
right?
can't. This one I'm also quite excited about. I quite like the way it looks. It it's how should I put it? The way I look at it, you create a route building. Probably you'll sell some. You'll have some resources. You have to know how to manage your resources. Um, and so yeah, it's quite probably we're going to mess up with each other. We also build a little bit of this city, and probably this city give us buildings in city give us certain advantages. I am. It looks a bit like what. What's the name? What's the name? Carnegie had, where you have buildings and you need to place workers, and the more workers you play, it will give you better actions. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, it is.
Looks really saturated. I mean, the
Uh,
colors are hurting my eyes.
it does, but you don't know. Usually, people like to oversaturate photographs
Yeah,
because it will look
it
better.
pops,
Yeah, it
right?
pops. I Until I have it in my own front eyes. I don't know. This one really, really, it's a city builder. We have played Super Bass on the stream a week ago. So yeah, pretty good.
Okay, so I guess it's a disappointment for both of us, number two. I mean, you didn't like mine, I don't like yours.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah, but I'm the
anyway.
only one who is allowed to be disappointed in you.
Oh, okay.
I have the buttons.
Good
I
for
can mute you.
I can mute myself. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah, this one looks
the
very
glory,
interesting to me.
the golden medal goes to, and this is the game that I started the list with.
So
When you said
we
let's do a
have
top 10,
we have put a game on the map for Paul, which is Station to Station.
oh,
He never heard
that's
of it.
that's what you did.
yeah.
Probably.
But it's they're on your territory, Paul. Alicat is British, I believe. English, I believe. They don't tell you. If they don't tell you, who they will tell. Okay, tell me, Mr. Radu.
All right.
Your number.
Let's start over. Number one.
Number one.
Gold medal. This is the game that I absolutely knew that you will steal the number one. I like historically themed games that go and involved a particular famous person in history, right? So this one's it kind of focuses on his astronomical achievements. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do. It's called Galileo Galilei.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
it seemed too light for me. It seemed a bit too light for.
nah. I'm having deja vu feelings about this game because if you remember last year, my number one that was absolutely started the game with was, you know what? It was the Da Vinci one, Codex
Leicester, yeah. Which in the end you ended up not liking.
Oh man, this is why I get so excited about these games, and once I tried them, the expectation is so high that the game does not deliver, right? So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this one does, and I'm trying not to put too much pressure on this game to be what it's not. The cover is and it isn't. At least the inside is more bright and colorful. The aesthetics, I kind of don't understand. It doesn't look Renaissance to me, but we'll see if it makes up for it in the gameplay. The graphic design is a bit, they take the safe route and do not go hard on the Inquisition and all the bad things that happened in the 1500s. But let's see if the game is any good. I don't know. It's another dice drafting game.
It is
that you used to.
Yeah, I looked at it. A lot of people talked about this game. Yeah, it's a light medium game. If you want it, we will see. If you want it.
And it really got to me that telescope that you use to choose action. I found that so clever. I mean, who ended up picking or developing this gimmick? I think deserves a medal.
There are a lot of gimmicks, which I won't spoil, and SETI is not on my. I hope it's good. I have last year Kutna Hora was my number one on the list, and it ended up disappointing me hard. I hope SETI I have chosen not to place it on the list. Hopefully it will not disappoint me. So it will probably be a line. I'm taking pictures. My number one is a game that reminded me a bit of Obsession. And it has a quite a cutesy name. And I don't know why I have not prepared it yet. It's called Oranges and Lemons. This is a heavyweight game, a heavyweight title. It is a game, it's a worker placement game. You start with 2 workers, limited storage, can carry, must make their best they can of early 18th century London, expanding their transport by acquiring first a hand cart, then a horse and a cart, and ultimately a ship, and by visiting locations mentioned in visiting location mentioned in and activities inspired by the Oranges and Lemons nursery rhyme. I don't really know a lot about Oranges and Lemons nursery rhyme, I have to be honest here. But the way the game looks, here it says it's Age of Reason and an economic game. It has a market, pick up and deliver, and worker placement. There are not a lot of games with these themes. I like the way the game looks. I hope it's also good. It's a heavier title, and I don't know a lot of it. Only what's there, what I've read, but one thing, it's its weight. I like the way it's a meteor game, and I like what it says. It says, get involved in money lending businesses, fulfill export contracts at the docks, try their hand at politics, invest in early stock market, or back risky but possible lucrative expeditions to East Indies. It looks Euro-y, as Euro-y as it gets. But it seems to have built more paths to do things, and it feels like it's a game where you can do a lot of things at the same time, and these are the kinds of games that I enjoy. I don't like games which sets me up on the you have to do this strategy till the end, do it, boom. Also, I like a game which has a bit of smell to it, a bit of theme, and this looks like it might have some.
Not sure.
It looked
your number one pick is
because
quite unknown.
Yeah, it's quite unknown. Exactly. It looks a tiny bit different, and I like these kinds of games. I like these days. I like discovering these kinds of games, and hoping. The Sagas of Nogging the Nog, for example, is one of the games I really like, and it is different. These days, I want these kinds of games. I'm not interested in rehashing, revamping all these. If you do that, give some flavor to a game. I'm hoping. This is a hope. This list is all a hope that this game is good. All this list is based on hunches. It's not. If I knew that a game would be good, and then I most likely I would have placed it. If I have 100% certainties, let's say. Uh,
Because we haven't played any of these
no,
titles,
yeah, we
right?
haven't played any of these titles. That's why, for example, Unconscious Mind is not Unconscious Mind. Although I kind of know it's almost a known quantity for us right now, and we've been having it on this list for 2 years,
Yeah.
22, 23. So that's why it is not. I know it's a good title. I know it's very good. So this is more okay. What's new? So
Yeah.
Unconscious Mind, it is releasing this year at Essen. We know that, but I want this on this list. A game that I do not know that much about that piqued my interest. That were these seem cool. Let's try to get it and let's try to play.
Yeah. From what you've read about the game, well, kind of, I know it's your type, and it kind of reminded me of Arkwright, what you do with, the stocks and all that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't think it has a lot in common with Arkwright. I like the cover. I think it tells a story. The I don't know if you're a fan of the way it is drawn, the way it is done, because I know you don't like
I
this
would,
style, uh,
I would like to
but I
remain
like it.
neutral, and
But I like
it's
it.
it's your number one.
So I'm gonna try to get a copy, maybe do a playthrough on the channel and the review at the end, of course. It might be a total flop. Who knows?
I
But maybe
mean,
it's good.
you gave you gave
So let's
this
close.
title the podium, so I hope it lives up to your expectations, because
Well, there were games that did not, like Kutnahora, for example.
and
Which
it unexpectedly it worked for me.
I expected, yeah, it worked for you, yeah. But for me, it did not. So it might happen, it might not. Sometimes a game is what you hope for, and again, I have played a gazillion, okay, a lot of games in my 11 years now since I've been a modern board gamer. I have a hefty collection. I have games which I love a lot. I really love, maybe it's a very, very strong word. You love persons, not necessarily games. Because if you're in a certain situation, what do you choose, a game or a person? You're going to choose the person. Um, so I really, really like, and I really like playing. I set it on the table and play it and revisit, and so I these days I'm not really into just playing games to see, oh, this mechanism is used in a new way. Well, good for you. I want flavor. I want what obsession gives me. I want what hegemony gives me. I want from games today. Okay, I don't get me wrong. I appreciate good games and that good games are coming out. But I want more. I want an experience out of it. I want something that says that the designer tried, not just they tried to make a new game.
Hmm.
I want a little bit more, and it's hard to do that these days. It was easier to do that 7, 8 years ago, probably, than it is today. In a way, I think the market matures. We don't really get bad games as we were used to. Oh, thank you, Paul, for coming. See you, yeah, see you in Essen. Hopefully, if you're at the board and dice or somewhere else, we'll see each other. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Um, so again, I'm not. Um, yeah, I want something else. Good games, yeah, good game. We're not. That's what I was saying. Because we used to get games that were not thoroughly play tested, broken, or we used to get that some time ago. Now they're not really. Usually, all companies come with, or bigger or smaller. They try to playtest their games a lot, and they try to put out a good product, because if they don't do, um, perfect. I'm gonna come by then, Paul, because I'm interested in that one. I'm interested in Galactic Cruise. Yeah, exactly. We still do some, but there people usually yeah, those don't really, I don't know, get out. Don't not as it used to be. So the market, I'd say that the industry is maturing slowly, and successful designers do not do a good game, then they do a bad game. They will do a very good game and maybe not such a good or not such a successful game, but not a bad game, not a broken game, not a. So we're now I think the next step is maybe fewer games, but games which are which create something, which give us something more than just oh yeah, mechanically this one is very interesting, mathematically I'm not interested to talk. I don't rate games that way. I can appreciate a very good game, a very well done game. I can appreciate a well thought out, even a game which has a new mechanism. But if a new mechanism is not put into an experience, it's just a new mechanism which dies there.
Or is being picked up by another designer and makes something out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
It has happened and will happen.
Of
And
course.
there's no excuse of failing this day and age, because it's gotten easier than ever to do mass playtesting. And this, I'm talking about Tabletop Simulator,
Yep.
Tabletopia. You ask a lot of people there will be willing to
Yep.
playtest your game
Yep.
and give you feedback. Back then, there were, I think, a smaller community. Now everyone is connected with each other, so
Yeah.
there's no way of you
Yeah,
saying, "Oh, we've missed this grave error that will break the game at launch." That will not happen.
Usually will not happen.
At a
Yeah.
serious company, because they have to maintain a sense of prestige, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, and now this is, I prefer a designer that comes out with a game, for 2 years maybe, a delay of 2 years between games, but he does puts a lot into that game, than just someone who churns out. This is what I prefer. I'm not saying this is bad, as long as the market absorbs it, it's just fine. But with the high cost of games these days, a 40 euro game now it's at least a 60 euro game. What used to be 40 euros 3-4 years ago, now it's at least 60. Look at expensive games, 60 sorry, at least 100 euros for a deluxe copy, at least. That's the minimum. It's around 120 for a deluxeified copy, when it used to be around 80. If I don't know if you've seen, but it's just even more than that, 150. So it's very, very expensive. So when you take out money from your own pockets, you might want something more, and that's for a person who does that, for example, who wants to buy newer games in his life. He wants to pay to get something for that money, for the experience.
Yeah, you're not even gonna get the attention of a new board gamer with these prices, since it has become a luxury item, and probably, if you don't have no notion of what a board game is, you're buying it blind and going home and being disappointed by you expecting it to be something else. So we are spoiled in a way that we have all this information and we can judge subjectively of what the box is, what is inside. We know the mechanisms, we know the insides of the industry and designers, illustrators. So we are tied into the product more than someone who just goes in and
Oh,
sees these inflated prices of wow, a board game of 150 when you earn 1,000 a month. It's not gonna happen.
yeah, yeah. So um, sometimes it's worth it, and this is what I'm looking for. Also, I'm looking for good, and this is what I liked. And that's why, for example, Minos is on my list because it looked like a very good production done for a pretty good price. And these days, this is you get less and less. This, and also this is why what I look for mainly good. I'm looking for good games, and when I put a game on as a playthrough on the channel, this is what I want mainly to do, to show off a good game. I think it is worth to take this game. You spend hundreds before realize I like campaign games, and then I spend hundreds more. Yeah,
You will
it's good.
spend even more.
You spend even more, yeah, because the all campaign games like expansions, like to come out with expansions.
I have campaign games that are still in shrink,
I
waiting for the perfect group.
I don't like campaign games. For me, give me a game that I can play and replay 100 times. I'm good at that. But
Be reasonable. You never play a game more than 5 times,
uh,
5 to 10.
I try to play. No, depends on the. I play it 5 times only before the stream. If it's in a heavier title, I usually play it 5 times before a stream. But there are games which Agricola, for example, is a game I played twice this year, and it's one of my not twice on stream and twice more before we streamed it, just to remember the rules. To yeah, to get
Yeah,
back there.
but you have more board games than days in a year.
Yeah, yeah.
So mathematically, it's impossible for you to revisit your entire collection.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do that. But yeah, that's why part of my collection went to the festival, and hopefully some people there will slowly will play it. Yeah. I don't know what's your name, Wiblik, but um, if you enjoy these kinds of games, hope you have a lot of fun with it. I'm usually not a big fan of campaign games because they ask for a lot of time, and I don't have that much time to play one game a whole lot. So I need to play this game, review it, get to the next one, review it, get to the next one, and then from time to time go back to some of my older classics, like some of the games which I enjoy, like the Golden Ages, like some playthroughs that we did. I really enjoy those older. You play only solo. Well, then these are the if you have these solo games, then you're gonna have a lot of fun with campaign games. Although since the pandemic, all games these days have solo versions. All games these days, since the pandemic, is just yeah, everything has a solo version. Some better, some worse, but I think. If you enjoy solo play, it has been it has been great for the hobby. The pandemic have been great for the hobby. A lot of people ended up playing solo. Even I, which I don't like playing solo. I like playing a lot, 2-player or 3-player.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this was our top 10 anticipated games of Essen. I had a longer list. I had it started here. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I've talked about in the Essen preview. I've talked about all the games that seemed interesting to me. I chose 10. I will check out more. Who knows what will come up? There might be some games that don't show up on BGG. I'm sure that Gay Sauna will be there, waiting for us.
man, you probably mentioned that game more than anyone else. It
But
really struck
it
a
is
nerve.
funny, man. It is funny.
Yeah.
And the one with the there is one with some lady parts also.
Yeah. Let's not finish the stream on that.
So you have a lot of, and now before we end,
Yeah.
let's talk. We enjoy Essen Spiel more. I think it's more enjoyable for all the diversity which you can find there. You can find everything that you want, and I don't think we should be. We should talk in a derogatory way of these games. They exist. Everything has a right to exist. We're different types of humans. We enjoy different things. Games should be about different things. And yeah, in Essen you can find things which you might enjoy, like Gay Sauna. And
Actually surprised that you haven't put Seven Empires or Stevens,
you know
on your
why?
list.
It's not a great two-player game, but I will try to get it just to play it. It was on my short list in my top 15, Seven Empires. There are a few more games which I had in that top 15, but I had to choose 10. I chose 10. So
Could I mention 4 of them? Just
yeah,
real quick?
you can.
So on my short list was 1984, which is
Mine too.
a wonderful
Mine
theme.
too. For the theme, yeah.
The Sunavalo was something that I was considering, and it's just a trick-taking game about the between Bango and Gauguin. There are discussions and it feels like but
the card game Yellow or
yeah,
not
the
something
card game.
Yellow Road.
Yellow House.
Yellow House. Okay. Yeah.
It's really just a deck of cards, and the other one was the last one was the first Tsar of the title of Stango Donsky.
Yeah. I tried to get a copy, but there was no budge. They did not.
No. Maybe you'll get this there if they.
I don't think so, because they said they said they want to work with a bigger.
Okay.
So I'm not big. I'm small.
Anyway.
Let's see. So mine was Asian Tigers because of Paolo and Nuno Seiteiro. Eterna, a game of Martin Wallace, 1984. Black Forest. And I think I only had 14, not 15. Yep.
Oof.
Oh, sorry, no. And Cube Express, a small game from Spielefiable.
Yeah.
And then I had some more which I was interested, but yeah, these were the ones that made it in the 15th. From these, I end up doing the 10.
Okay. So that was our top
10,
18.
the 15 for the 30. Yeah. So, are you excited for Essen? How long?
I'm trying to keep it cool and but I'm really excited to make it this year.
I'm going to roam the halls. You're going to be at Fantasia booth.
Yeah,
explaining unconscious mind. So
yeah.
if
And I still do think it's the best game that came out in 3 years. I think, but we have to give room for
yeah,
others and the newest titles to shine through. But Unconscious Mind is definitely
it's
in my
something
top
special.
100,
Yeah,
and will stay there for a while.
we'll
This is
be.
why I actively, you know, went along and wanted to do the demo. I
Oh, I
enjoyed
see.
this game that much that I want to teach it to other people.
Well, it helped the fact that, and yeah, they gave us that preview copy, and we could do the preview before well, with the Kickstarter. Yeah. So, um, see you there, and
Yeah,
see anyone who might watch. I want to thank
I'm already packed. I'm
yours.
at the door.
So, you want to say something in the end?
Oh, it was interesting to look back and to analyze this year's list and titles. It's a must do list for anyone who has a channel, and it's a responsibility to our viewers to have um to give them our
Perspective.
opinions, and to be as transparent about these things as possible. So I hope you enjoyed these top tens, a few known and hopefully unknown that need, and yeah, maybe add them to your list.
Yep.
So
So,
anyone roaming the halls at Essen, just would be glad to say hi and see you there.
see you there. Yeah. Thank you, sir, for helping me to do this list. We'll see each other at Essen and afterwards in the next playthroughs. Thank you, Wiblik, for coming by. Thank you for discovering our small channel and for enjoying our content.
Hope you come back and you stay.
Yep. So I'll close this one up. Thank you, Radu. Bye bye. So, I wanna, as always, I wanna thank anyone who came and watch live. I will thank anyone who will come and watch after the fact. If you like what you see, please like, share, subscribe. Yeah, these things, comment because this tells the algorithm that something good is happening there. Maybe we should recommend this to someone else. And I'll thank my patrons. Thank you, my 2 patrons. And until next time, I'll say what it says there. Play a lot, play loads, have fun, and bye bye, fine folks, wherever in the world you are.